Ladies and gentlemen, this tag team event scheduled one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, originally from Cuba, now wrestling out of Florida. At 230 pounds, meet El Grand Apollo. El Grand Apollo. His partner, also from Florida, here's Tommy Rogers. Tommy Rogers. Their opponents, ladies and gentlemen, are both former NWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Champions. The only brother combination in the world that can make that claim. At a combined weight of 540 pounds from Amarillo, Texas, Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr., the Funk brothers, right here.
Dory and Terry Funk, and you talk about double cases of dynamite. You've got it in these two, but boy, are they going up against a tough combination. El Grande Apollo, one of the most explosive competitors I've ever seen come from Havana, Cuba. Tommy Rogers, another great young competitor. He doesn't have as much experience, but he's got the desire, he's got the drive and the power. But the Funks can do it all. There's just no question about that. Terry, the volatile one, the explosive one, the temperamental one. Dory Funk Jr., Mr. Cool, Mr. Well, ice-cold eyes is about the only way you can describe his eyes once he steps into that squared circle. And it's Terry Funk out there right now, a good friend of Sylvester Stallone's, and he, like I said, he does it all. Makes the tag with Dory Funk Jr.
Absolutely. That's what makes them such a great team, is the cold calculatedness of Dory Funk, the explosiveness of Terry, but they're fighting a couple of young Argentina guy, and that young lad that's in there now are tremendous athletes, and it truly is a competition for the Funks here. The wrestlers you have on this particular program, sir, are so fantastic. You people don't realize it. You see, the Funks are so good, they're making these people, that young fella here, look like he don't know what he's doing. That young guy is great. Spunk, look at the spunk he's got right there, kicking out there after the punishment he's taken.
Came out of a deep, deep double underhook and souffle and was back on his feet once again. Makes the, and now Dory Funk Jr. making the tag, and so Dory Jr. will step outside the ring, and he'll study this man, Rogers. I don't believe he honestly felt he could come up after that, but he did. And Rogers now obviously needs to get over and tag up with El Grande Apollo just as quickly as he can. He reverses the problems here on Terry Funk. Catches him a good shoulder smash to the midsection. Hip toss by Rogers, and it is, Rogers. Single leg pickup by Terry Funk, and Terry Funk back to the basics once again.
Yes.
Dory and Terry Funk, of course, both second-generation wrestlers.
Yes, and that's why the basics are so important, are they not, Mr. Solis? Because the basics mean you can revert to them, and they always work if done properly. Nice duck! Oh, I think he tried to go for an elbow, but Dory is much too smart. One good counter that Dory used there. When you go for an elbow, the thing is not to back away from it. When a man's throwing an elbow at you, you charge towards him, because then the elbow goes past your head and you don't take the full force of the blow, which is what Dory Funk, being cold and calculated, did. Nice elbow.
Three forearms to the side of the jaw of Rogers. Now, and he staggers Rogers again. Rogers fires back. And Rogers now makes that very, very desperately needed tag. And it's El Grande Apollo from Havana, Cuba. And El Grande Apollo, a series of forearms to the side of the jaw of Dory Funk Jr. Had Dory Funk looking back toward his corner. And a good flying drop kick by El Grande Apollo. And Terry Funk comes in. It's Apollo catching him. Apollo catches Dory Funk, and Terry Funk makes the tag with Rogers. Rogers back into the ring.
What condition Dory Funk must be. Did you see him taking blow after blow? Look at him. Now these guys got a flurry going on the Funks.
Tommy Rogers exploding on the Funk brothers. A series of full body slams. He closes in once again. And as Rogers charges in, Terry Funk takes the front of that shoulder in the midsection. That time Rogers started to charge. Terry Funk drove a knee right over the heart of Tommy Rogers. Drove him back to the canvas. Rogers on the deck now, and it is Terry Funk punishing the femoris muscles. And if you take away that speed that Rogers had, why, it's going to be all over. The spinning toe hold by Terry Funk.
Oh, he's famous for it. Go for the rope. Look where you are. Look where you are. Come on, look where you are. Oh.
No, sir. He conceded. Point well taken by Rob Piper, too. Rogers very close to those ring ropes. Had he been aware of how close he was, he might have been able to grab those ropes and forestall that subjection that he was put to, but he did not, and nonetheless, I'm sure that pain was the first and foremost thing on his mind. There you see him with that spinning toe hold. You see here, Rogers not even conscious of the proximity of those ropes. And it is so very important that you keep your mind as to your position, to the ropes and to the mat. And he did not. And here it is Terry Funk continuing with that spinning toe hold, the very hold that brought